The green screen's back. Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets, powered by BetSperts. We are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christensen, and joining me, as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. And I guess we might have some money left after the Derby, but let's start on a positive note. And kudos to the folks at BetSperts Golf and you guys for picking out Mr. Homa there. It was nice to get some money back on a Sunday.
It was so nice. Look at him. He's happy. Guy's just a good dude. He's always excited about golfing. He has heavy. Whoa, somebody said this too. They said heavy in perspective. Mother's Day. He's got a kid on the way. They just did a gender reveal last week. Like he's making the rounds on social media. So good for Max also, and good for me. That was very nice to have money because Jesus Christ, I got kicked in the teeth horse racing. Like TVG account. I might as well just started doing hard drugs. That's how much money I just watching money hemorrhage away from me betting horses. And usually I've had luck in the past. And I shouldn't complain because I've won bets. We won a big one last year at the Derby. I won a nice sized bet at the Breeders' Cup last fall. So whatever. Although I wish I got a little squirrelier with the man team horse now, because there was one, it was going to be like, all right, here's a really stupid one. And I was just going to pick the longest horse in the race. But also I was going to pick like the longest long shot in baseball that day. And then something wild in another sport as well. So now I don't even want to go look and see if the biggest long shot won in baseball on Saturday. That would have been a bad feeling. We're looking. Texas got postponed. The Cubs were a big long shot. They actually lost. I think if I'd have gone with a Friday baseball game at that point, it probably would have been postponed, to tell you the truth. There was like 6 games that got rained out on Friday. So maybe we'd have had a reduced parlay at that point.
I was going to say, I don't think my legs did too well. Justin Gaethje or whoever he lost.
Yeah, I just want to do like $1 million to
Felix phoned us.
One of those where you try to bet $5 and like, actually, you can only win $1 million on this. You have to reduce your stake. I love those when we do the long shot tennis. But yeah, congrats to myself again. Thank you. And to Ryan Noonan, also had Homa at a better price even. I was the guy who didn't want to bet Homa early in the week. I even said on the show on Tuesday, I like Homa a lot here. I'm not sure I could bet him as someone to win this tournament. I don't like betting on him to win. And then as the week went on, I looked at more and more stuff, and enough people were convincing. You ever do that where it's somebody makes a good enough point where you change your mind? Like, damn it, I am going to have to add him to the outright card. So
that's why you got to be fluid. You got to be willing to accept new information to make changes on the fly. You can't, stake a pole in the ground and hold yourself to it.
Yeah, I think Alex said that great. Best advice probably ever. Stay fluid. Be willing to change your mind quickly based on good information. Not just don't be a willy-nilly flip-flop guy, but be able to change your mind based on good information. So a good tournament this week, again, leading into a great tournament next week. Good tournament, bad course, I guess, this week with the Byron Nelson. It's at TPC Craig Ranch, which is, I don't know. I'm not sure why we named it that, but Craig Ranch, they used to do Corn Ferry events here. It's not a great course, but as you can see from the top of the leaderboard over here and our friends at FanDuel, it is a good field. Basically, anybody that didn't play last week, except John Rahm is taking an extended break here, is going to be playing here. So if you didn't play last week, you're playing here to get yourself a warm up, essentially. So Scheffler, Thomas, Spieth, DJ, Xander, Hideki, Brooks, Joaquin, Will Zalatoris, a lot of big names top of the board. It's going to be a really tough one for me to suck it up and bet some chalk here, because there's just too many good names. Probably going to be one where I take some smaller bets and some longer shots. I do love Sam Burns on this course, though at 20, that's tough. I love Zalatoris, so maybe a couple guys in the 20s, but it might end up being another one of those. When Rahm won 2 weeks ago, and then everyone's just like, oh, I'm going to bet Rory. Like, it's a thing now. Why wouldn't I just bet the best golfer in the field by a long shot? And Rory was a sand save on 18 away from missing the cut, which is annoying to somebody like me who had it at 4-1. And also, I had Tony Finau to beat him in a matchup at plus 145.
Something like that.
And Finau made the cut, so that would have cashed a lot. And Finau ended up losing that matchup by 10 strokes, I think, which is how golf works. So, whatever.
So we kind of had as a weekend of like, this is how horse betting works. When we made that final turn, I think we had the exact end or trifecta, and then out of nowhere comes somebody else, and McIlroy misses that shot, misses the cut, instead just blows through Saturday and Sunday to blow up the matchup. What are you going to do? Sometimes you take it in the teeth.
Yeah, that's how life goes. So
everybody's got to take a beating sometimes.
Suck it, Rory. But I kind of like it. I mean, his form. I don't know how much he cared Thursday and Friday. Then the fact that he ramped it up, what he saw at the Masters, like I wonder about him at the PGA. We're gonna see what some of those numbers are out. I'm gonna start digging into the PGA Championship. I would guess I will make outrights for next week before we close up shop this week. I will have some prices on the PGA already. And I don't have anything yet. Like I said, I like Burns. I like Zalatoris. I'm going to wait for a few more shops to open, do some shopping. And if you want, over at BetSports Golf right now, Ron has a course preview up already. We'll have more content throughout the week, including the normal shows and getting people ready. And then next week, major week, lots of golf stuff, lots and lots. But like Dan said, Dan mentioned he was at a casino. And it wasn't. It was in the New England region of the world, and they didn't care for the ending of the game. Where I had some 1.5 in that one. I'm not a big NBA bettor. I tail you. I tail Drew. I tail a few other people that make a convincing argument, and I just happened to be online at like 7 p.m. the day before, and I'm like, I'll bet the Bucks. So I took that minus 1.5 early, and it closed 2. And again, horse racing aside, things have been coming up halfway rosy for me. So that was a nice CLV. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on the weekend action and then how you see the Celtics-Bucks Game 4 going.
Yeah, you start to look at the games from this weekend. I'll talk about Celtics-Bucks a little bit. We got that game tonight, and I have a pick. The other game tonight, Grizzlies-Warriors. It's a shame. We had this really fun series, and now Ja Morant is hurt. So kind of takes the air out of the room. You look at the line tonight, they're minus 10.5. The total's a 223.5. That total might still be a touch low. It's definitely been adjusted down from Morant being out, but we've seen time and time again, this Grizzlies team just pushes the ball, whether he's in or not. So I might end up with an over there. When it comes to the Celtics-Bucks series in general, things have been really close. I mean, Jason Tatum has had a poor game. I expect him to bounce back a little bit, but these games are really being played on the margins. I mean, night in and night out. I know it's one of Drew's favorite saying that these lines are tight, but just remember, folks, just because maybe you bought the 0.5 point or played the money line instead of the -2, you didn't make the right decision. At 2 pushed, I mean, at that game, honestly, I was surprised that Boston could get it that close. I wonder if Milwaukee has almost a minute there to look at it and go, wow, I mean, that should have been a much better win than it was. It didn't necessarily need to get to be that close, but they've been really tight games, but they've also been low-scoring games, and the total tonight is 212. It's right where we saw the total from last game, and they didn't even get close to that. I'm looking at this series. The first game was 190 points. The second game was 195. The last game was 204. So they're getting better, but they continue to be really slow games. When you get down to the fourth quarter, especially the way Boston runs a little bit more isolation offense, it really takes the pace and the air out of the ball. So give me the under tonight. I'm going to go with under 212 for the Celtics and the Bucks tonight. Again, I'd play this down to maybe 211, maybe a half stake or so at 210, but in general, I think it's going to be a really slow, kind of clunky game. And I see some stuff going on here. I mean, Jokic won MVP. I believe that actually happened. And it makes sense to me. I thought he was the best player all year. With all due respect to my buddy Joel Embiid, and as good as he was, I think either one of those is the right decision. But is Patrick insinuating that maybe he didn't win the MVP? Is that what's going on here?
Well,
Maybe he learned this stuff live.
What if he got a phone? So he's at home. Well, the other person, what if he got the phone call saying, "Hey, we're going to call you to do an interview in the MVP," and then later he watches someone else get it on TV, a la a TV show we watch. No spoilers. I hate to give spoilers out, but the thing is too, like anybody who watches Winning Time, you don't have to like go find spoilers. You can just look. How did
There's
the
history.
19? Yeah, how did the 1980 NBA Finals end up? And you can just, I mean, you can just pull that up on Sports Reference if you wanted. So I thought it was a. Should we
He's
go
talking
right into
about
that?
Ja.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, no,
Oh,
Jokic still has MVP. Miscommunication. But yeah, I don't think Ja's playing. He's doubtful. Again, maybe they find a way to wrap him up and get him some of them good painkillers or where that magic spray as they have for the World Cup for his knee, and maybe he'll be okay. But I get the feeling that he's not playing tonight.
just like Cap in game 5 there. Played on
I mean,
that ankle.
they're in Golden State. I think you would maybe give him tonight off with a chance of letting him play in Memphis at home. So again, if he is healthy enough to play, I don't know if I want him playing at less than 100%, but my guess is he'll probably be out for this game so he can play in Memphis.
What if it's announced hour before the game, Ja's playing, no one's going to believe that he's fine, but they're like, we got him to a point where we can play him, and it comes out no minutes restriction. Like, does it just jump to 7.5?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Definitely drives down to I think probably even 7. I think that's where it closed last time. That move makes sense to me. I think there definitely will be an overreaction. I think the total will jump up. I think you're right. It'll probably land right near 7, which is where it closed last time. And I guess I wonder too, if I'm looking at 7 last time, it's only 10.5 now. Maybe there is some thought that maybe Morant will play tonight. A lot of times when you see when players are like that, they'll kind of put the line halfway in between where it should be. And 3.5 points seems honestly a little too short for Ja, but I don't think he's playing tonight.
I'm fine. I'd love some hijinks. I might put a very small bet on 10.5 just to laugh about it. Like, oh shit, who's ahead of the curve on this one, guys? So, but yeah, I mean, you're right. It's gonna move a few points if that happens. I would like to see them get the shit beat out of them, and then Ja play the next game. So there's maybe some overreaction on the opening line. You could if you do think he plays game 6 after taking an absolute beatdown here, maybe you find some value there and get it ahead of the announcement. I like that.
It's a good plan.
Where does that leave us with sports? I'm running out of sports, honestly, for this time of year. I might need some people to chime in on what I should bet for baseball, because really, really don't think betting home runs is going to happen. I will have some time later this week to start pulling some modeling stuff together for baseball, but if anyone has a suggestion on a market I could get involved with for that. I don't want to do K props. Everyone does K props. I don't want to do first run inning shit. Everyone does that. But I definitely don't think I want to do home run props. So it might, I don't know what that leaves us. If it's, we already have RIP Tony for hit runs errors.
Matt Rooney's got total bases kind of locked down.
Yeah, I was going to say it might have to be like a total bases, or they do these matchups where it's like one player versus another player. Maybe I could build some projection distributions for players and see if those prices are a little off. But I'll just let you carry this one today with your tennis, I guess.
Indeed, and that's Dan got so tired of us talking about baseball there. It can happen. 2 picks today in tennis. Rome starts today. Put out a tweet last night with some outrights. If you want to go back and take a look at that at _Noops, we like Sabalenka, Goff, and Anisimova. Sakkari to win her quarter. Pavlyuchenkova to win her quarter. That's all happening right now. That stuff will open probably this afternoon, maybe around dinner time, East Coast time, when all these matches wrap up. But let me just double check. It looks like this match is going to start shortly after we finish the show here. It's basically just waiting for a match to finish at this point. But it looks like they'll start at noon, maybe 12:15 or so. And Helena Kalinina going up against Madison Keys. Kalinina playing some fantastic tennis on clay the last couple weeks. Madison Keys in general, not very good on clay, continues to still be kind of priced for, I think, again, her name and what we saw earlier this year. But you go back and look at her history here, her history at Roland Garros, 2 courts that are really comparable in terms of, similar red clay. I believe they use a similar ball. They're both very slow courts, even for clay, and just a really bad spot for Keys in general. And This one's got bet out a little bit. I actually got this right around like plus 105. I like it if you can find minus 110 or better. I think there's still some 15s out there. That's not the worst idea, honestly, but don't go any deeper than that. It's just a really nice matchup for Kalinina now. Maybe she has a little too much tennis under her legs. I believe she has to go into qualifying for the French Open next week, so might not be totally locked in, but it's a good opportunity for her to get some ranking points to avoid some qualifying later on. So I think we'll get a solid effort from her. She might have even come through qualifying here. I can't quite remember, but like this spot again for her against Madison Keys. And then we'll go down to the ITF. It's going to be another jam-packed week of tennis, Andy. The women didn't even start Karlsruhe tomorrow. They're playing in Paris right now. Nothing stuck out to me there. But in Spain, La Bisbal, this is an ITF W100 tournament. This match isn't even tomorrow. This match is on Wednesday. Just wanted to get this out because I have a feeling this will move a little bit. Poke Around, our sponsor FanDuel, I don't think has this one up yet, but they're usually one of the better books in terms of having these ITF lines. It's open on a couple offshores. But Andrea Lazaro Garcia is playing Jinyu Wang. Wang, a player that we backed quite a bit, honestly, in hardcourt season, but we've switched, and this surface is much worse for her. Lazaro Garcia has been playing some decent ball down at lower level stuff, and honestly, I have this match closer to a pick-em. I could even make a case for Lazaro Garcia being a small favorite. So give me, honestly, plus anything. So we'll take Kalinina. That one starts quickly, and then Lazaro Garcia, you've got some time to find that one.
You've got days. And look, Alex, I know I've made the same joke in my head, Rick Danny. Alex has a baseball play. Someone just says do regular totals. I don't hate that. Maybe just looking at some totals. I know some people that just do totals. Specifically, there's one.
First five totals are good for you.
First five totals would be a fun one, maybe. Just
seems like you've done some research on pitchers. We got to find a way to
take the bullpen horse shit out of the equation. Although, congrats to again Futures Andy. Nothing is cashed yet, but the Twins look good over the weekend. Their bullpen surrendered, I think, no runs to the A's throughout the A's offense.
3 games ahead of the White Sox.
And nothing to write home about. Yeah, calling it. But got them at 6-1 to win the division. So hopefully they can keep that up. The bullpen was great against the hated Oakland Athletics. Kind of a former rival back when before they restructured things in the AL.
Small market teams not liking each other.
We played a lot. We've played each other in the playoffs quite a bit. I've been to some A's Twins playoff series, so I hate the A's personally. It was really nice to get them and get Buxton in a bubble wrap. I know he's just gonna get hurt. I'm planning a AAA baseball trip around his injuries. I'm gonna go watch him play for the St. Paul Saints. I have a Saints hat somewhere in here, but we'll figure baseball out. We'll bet some tennis. Take it easy on Rome. We do have the French Open coming up. Your bankroll wasn't built in a day. Don't get nuts. That was a Rome joke, Alex. You see what I did there?
I liked it. I did.
And then, follow us. Follow us on the social medias. There's a few Twitter accounts you can take a look at if you really wanted to. I'm Andy MSFW. He is Alex @_Noops. Brown Bag Bets. You can follow BetSperts @BetSperts. If you throw a GOLF on the end of that, it's BetSperts Golf. And then really, Dan Weiner. It is WEINER. We say Weiner because that's how it's pronounced, guys. Really, Dan Weiners? That's producer Dan, in case you didn't put 2 and 2 together. Give us a thumbs up in the YouTube chat. Follow all those accounts. Retweet something every one of them posted. And you'll have good luck on your betting for the rest of the year, probably. And we'll catch you tomorrow for some hockey bet. I didn't bet any hockey, so
I'm just concerned that my thumbs disappear.
I didn't watch a lot. Somebody asked about the UFC. I didn't watch a lot of the UFC. I got busy. Real quick before we go, I had some trees to chop up with a chainsaw. I forgot what that does to a guy's lower back. Like bending over with a chainsaw for an hour, chopping up trees. Oh my God. I have to do some hot yoga today or something, or get the back roller out. So pray for your guy, Andy, and his back, because he's old as shit. And if you want my back to feel better, hit a thumbs up, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Took like 9 Advil already.
Tough.
It ain't easy.